Hey, it's Sarah. So if you're here tonight, I already know you're carrying something heavy. And maybe you've been carrying it so long that you've stopped noticing the weight of it. And it just became part of how you move through the world. And that thing that makes you feel like everyone else got handed a map and you somehow missed it. Or like life is happening just on the other side of something and you're watching through the glass, waiting for it to make sense. And you don't have to explain it tonight. You don't have to name it or fix it or figure out where it came from. So for the next few minutes, you can just sit here with me. And I'm going to hold the lantern up just enough to light up a little bit of what's ahead. Not all of it, just enough so you feel a little bit less alone in the dark. That's all this is. And that's all it needs to be. So tonight, I'm going to sit with everybody who feels trapped. Not locked up, just like stuck in between. Like you know what you want, but you can't quite get yourself there. And I know what it feels like to be on the inside of what you're carrying tonight. That kind of alone that isn't really about being by yourself. It's about being in a room full of people and still feeling that glass between you and all of them. Like watching life happen just on the other side of something you can't quite name and you can't quite cross. So I'm not going to tell you what the glass is. You already know, and you've probably known for a long time. And knowing hasn't made it easier to move through it, because knowing doesn't always do that. Sometimes you just need someone to sit on your side of it with you for a while. So that's what I'm doing. And I see the part of you that wants so much, that has always wanted so much. The warmth, the closeness, the someone who stays, like really stays without you having to manage the staying. And I see how real that wanting is, how it has never gone away, no matter how many times you've talked yourself out of it or told yourself you were fine without it, or chosen the version of a thing instead of the actual thing itself. And I see the part of you that stands at the edge of those things, not because you don't want in, but because you've been standing there so long, you're not sure your legs still know how to move towards something. And I know what it's like to watch other people step through doors that feel sealed from your side, and to reach for connection and feel your hand stop just short of it. Not because you chose to stop, because something in you doesn't know yet that it's allowed to keep going. And that's really hard to feel, let alone name. I see both of those parts living in you at the same time. The one that aches to get there and the one that has forgotten it knows how. And I'm not asking either of them to be different tonight. I just am sitting here seeing both of those parts living in you at the same time. That's it. And I know about regret, that very subtle kind, the kind that surfaces at 3 a.m. or in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday when something reminds you of a moment you stepped back from right when it was getting real. And I know how that sits in your chest, very heavy, very pointed, and it's yours alone. You don't have to explain it to me, and you definitely don't have to justify it or trace it back or figure out what to do with it tonight. You're allowed to just feel it, and you're allowed to be tired, and you're allowed to grieve the things that almost were, without that grief meaning that you did something unforgivable. Because being totally honest, you didn't do anything unforgivable. You did what you knew how to do with what you had at the time. That's all any of us ever do. So that wanting is still alive in you. Whatever the voice in your head has been telling you, that it's too late, that you missed your chance, that something in you closed a long time ago, it isn't true. The wanting is still there, which means you are still there. And that's enough for tonight, that you're still here, that you came and sat in the dark for a few minutes instead of running from it, that you let yourself feel it. So I'm going to leave the lantern here right beside you, And you don't have to go anywhere, and you don't have to figure it out. Just rest. I've got you.